In November of 2026, people in California are going to vote on something that sounds boring. It's called Initiative 25-0022A1. It will be buried on the back of a ballot that most people won't even finish reading. But if it passes, here is what happens to you. If you get hit by a ride-share driver and you end up with a life-changing, serious, forever injury, no lawyer in the entire country will take your case. And it's not because you don't deserve a lawyer. It's because a $52 billion company has already spent $32 million to make sure that you can't get access to justice. This is how corporations buy the law. My name is Arkady Frekhtman, and I'm a trial attorney. And for more than 20 years, I've helped serious injury victims and families who have been hurt by negligence, and we take cases and we bring them to court before juries. So yes, I have a stake in the story, and I'm going to tell you what it is up front, and then I'm going to show you the documents and let you decide for yourself. Because what is happening in California right now is not really about lawyers. It's about whether ordinary people in this country can still fight a billion-dollar corporation and win. And the answer is about to change. Let's start with something most people have never even thought about. 95% of Americans cannot afford to pay a lawyer by the hour, not for a car crash, not for a defective product, not for a wrongful death. So how does an ordinary person, like a delivery driver, a nurse, a kid who just got out of college, how do they sue a corporation worth $50 billion? And there's only one answer, and that is the contingency fee. And it works like this. The lawyer takes the case for free. The lawyer fronts every dollar, pays for filing the lawsuit, the experts, trial costs. If the lawyer wins, the lawyer gets paid a percentage. If the lawyer loses, the lawyer eats every penny, their time, all the money they spent up front. But that system is the reason a single mother in Fresno can take on a corporation with 1,000 lawyers and actually beat them. It is the only counterweight ordinary people have. And right now, somebody is trying to remove it. Meet Initiative 25-0022A1. It is a proposed amendment to the California Constitution. Not a statute, not a law, not a regulation, but a change to the founding document of the state. And it is funded by Uber. The link to the actual ballot language is in the description below this video. I want you to read it yourself. I'm not asking you to trust me. I'm asking you to read 8 paragraphs. But here is the part you need to understand right now. The initiative caps what a plaintiff's lawyer can be paid. It does not cap what the defense lawyers can be paid. And remember, insurance companies hire insurance defense lawyers. And this is not my interpretation. That comes straight from the California Attorney General's official title and summary. Quote, "The measure would not restrict fee arrangements for defendants' attorneys," end quote. So it's not a level playing field. One side gets a constitutional cap on its firepower, but the other side gets unlimited spending. Imagine a boxing match where one fighter has both hands tied behind his back and the other fighter gets to bring a baseball bat. That is what this initiative is doing to injured people in a courtroom. Now let's talk about who actually gets hurt first, because this is not abstract. The people who lose access to justice on day one are the people with the worst injuries. Things like paraplegia, quadriplegia, amputations, traumatic brain injuries, chronic regional pain syndrome, CRPS, severe disfigurement. And why those people first? Because those are the cases that take the most lawyer hours, the most expert witnesses, the most money fronted out of the law firm's own pocket. Sometimes it could even be hundreds of thousands of dollars before a single check comes in. If you cap the legal fee, and then no rational law firm can take those cases anymore, the math just doesn't work. So picture it. A construction worker falls 4 stories. A delivery cyclist gets run over in a bike lane. A grandmother gets hit in a crosswalk by a rideshare driver who was looking at his phone. Under these new rules, here is what their phone call to a law firm will sound like. I'm sorry, we cannot help you. The people who need a lawyer the most are the first ones who lose access to one. That is the design of this initiative. That is not an accident. Now follow the money, because this story did not start in California, and it will not end there. January 2025, Nevada. Uber backs a ballot initiative to cap contingency fees in civil cases at 20%. The Nevada Supreme Court strikes it down unanimously. Chief Justice Douglas Herndon writes the opinion, and the words he uses are, quote, misleading and confusing, end quote. So Uber loses in Nevada. Does Uber stop? No, Uber pivots. Same playbook, different state, different language, same goal. California is the new target, and the dollars tell you why. Uber and its allies spent over $200 million to pass Proposition 22 in California, and they won. In 2025, Uber generated $52 billion in revenue, over $10 billion in net income. On Uber's own fourth quarter earnings call, executives told their investors out loud on the record that reduced insurance costs would boost revenue growth. Translated from corporate English, every dollar Uber does not pay to an injured rider is a dollar that goes back to shareholders. So when Uber spends $32 million to rewrite the California Constitution, and according to the most recent FPPC public tally, that's exactly what they've spent so far. They are not making a political donation. They are making a capital investment with billions in projected returns. That is not my characterization. That is the business model on the earnings call to the investors. Now, here is the part that should make every California taxpayer angry. Even if you don't care about lawyers, even if you've never been in a car accident in your entire life, you are going to pay for this. California's own legislative analyst, the nonpartisan office that advises the governor and the legislature, looked at this initiative and concluded 2 things. Number 1, it will reduce the number of motor vehicle cases filed. And number 2, it will increase Medi-Cal costs. Think about what that means. When somebody gets hit by an Uber driver and cannot sue, they still have injuries. They still need surgery. They still need rehabilitation. They still need a wheelchair. Somebody has to pay for that care. If the corporation that caused the harm is not going to pay, then the trauma center pays, the county hospital pays, Medi-Cal pays, which means you, the taxpayer, pays. You pay through your taxes, through longer ER wait times, through hospitals that close because they cannot absorb the cost. Uber earns interest on the money it saves, and you eat the bill. This is the part nobody is talking about. It is not a lawyer talking point. It came from the nonpartisan office whose entire job is to give straight answers to the governor. Let me explain why companies actually invest in safety. Because once you understand this, the whole initiative makes sense. Companies are not moral. Corporations are mathematical. A corporation invests in safety when harming people costs more to them than preventing harm. That is the entire equation. Strip away the threat of being sued, strip away the cost of accountability, and the math flips. Corners get cut, warnings get left off a label, recalls get delayed, drivers get less training, and people die. That is not a theory. This is the documented history of every consumer safety improvement in the last 50 years. Things like seatbelts, airbags, drug warnings, vehicle recalls. Most of those changes did not come from a regulator. They came from a personal injury lawsuit. The contingency fee is not a private remedy for one injured person. It is a public safety system. You, like most people, didn't know that's what it was. And Uber is counting on you to not figure it out before November. Now, if you're watching this and you don't live in California, you might be thinking, this isn't my fight. It is. And here is why. California is the laboratory. It is always the laboratory. Whatever passes in California gets copied everywhere else. That is how Proposition 22 spread. That is how every major corporate playbook of the last 20 years has spread. Today, the target is motor vehicle cases. Why? Because auto accidents are the easiest thing to sell to voters. Everybody understands a car crash. But once the template passes, it gets adapted. Products liability is next, then employment cases, then civil rights. If you live in New York, Texas, Florida, Illinois, your state is on the list. You just don't know it yet. Okay, so what do I want you to do? I'm asking for two things. One, share this video. If you live in California, send it to 5 people who vote. If you don't live in California, send it to anyone who does. Because the only way to beat $32 million in advertising is to make the truth travel faster than the lie. 2, subscribe to this channel, because I'm going to keep tracking this Nevada, California, and whichever state is next on the list. When Uber's playbook moves, this channel is going to show you exactly where. Companies invest in safety when harming people costs more than preventing harm. Don't let anyone change that math. See you on the next one.